In this video, we shall be looking at Dell's S2240T 21.5-inch touchscreen LED monitor. So to start off with the packaging, it comes in a nicely printed, well-presented box. The printed picture somewhat gives away what we can expect inside. And what we have inside is a beautiful looking monitor with a very striking monitor stand and the edge-to-edge glass surface, which is very much predominant character of this monitor. The monitor stand looks pretty nice and it is made of metal, which is a very nice thing to touch and feel, but it also serves a very defined purpose, which is why it is designed this way. The stand is more like an artist's easel with rubber footing to prevent it from slipping. Now, the purpose of designing such a stand is so that the monitor can be tilted very quickly to a great angle, and that's owing to the fact that this is a touchscreen, and to bring it back all we have to do is just lift it so, and the stand is spring loaded, it comes back on its own. At the back of the monitor there is a Kensington lock for added security, and then at the I/O there is the audio in, and then a USB connection and power in, then HDMI, DVI and VGA. Towards the right end of the monitor we have the buttons with a little LED next to the power button as well. And now let's look at the picture quality. When we turned on the monitor, the display was nice and sharp and the brightness was decent along with contrast and color. From a fairly dark room to all studio lights lit up, the display was to a great extent unaffected. Even while all the lights are pointing at the screen, the usability did not suffer too much. The reason for saying this is that in our previous review of a glossy screen, light reflection was a common question. To put it simply, if you hold your tablet at an arm's length and test it in different light conditions, this monitor has similar feel. Next, the viewing angle. While most monitor specifications say 178 degrees, it often comes down to the interpretation of that. So let's just look at what happens at a steep angle. As we turn the monitor, the image maintains its contrast and sharpness till a very steep angle, better than what most other monitors can manage. With regards to gaming and color accuracy, the performance of the monitor was quite nice. Now over here I've placed it next to a old AOC monitor that I quite often use, which is not a bad monitor on its own, though the improvements on the Dell monitor is slightly visible. Now over the camera and re-rendering and so forth, the visibility of the differences is probably negligible. However, standing in front of it we could see the difference in color, and the Dell monitor was a little bit brighter with the bright areas and darker with the dark areas. With regards to the specification saying that the response time is 12 milliseconds, I could not visibly, standing there, tell the difference as such. There is no performance issues with regards to gaming. Now with regards to difference between this monitor and the monitors having 2 millisecond latency, I'm sure there's a difference, and if we brought in scientific instruments we'd be able to measure it. But with naked eye, I don't think I could tell the difference personally. As far as gaming is concerned, I've spent quite some time playing games with this monitor, and quite enjoyably I might add. I have very little negative things to say about the experience that I had. Now having said that, let's just mention that this is not an IPS panel. As we reviewed the other IPS panel, the S2340L, that had much more vibrant color, but then again that's meant to have it that way. Now for a non-IPS panel, this is doing quite well so far. Now let's look at some more tests. With gradient test, the transition between dark to light was very smooth. We are looking for separations and there were none visible. Now this applied for both grayscale and color scales, the primary colors red, green and blue. All of them made the transition from the darkest to the lightest without any separation. The gradient was fairly smooth in all cases. Windows 8 recognized the touchscreen without any adjustment. Now there is a little bit of lag with the dragging. However, single taps tend to be quite reasonably accurate and on the spot. The touch sensitive panel is what gives this the premium price tag. If that is not needed, then there are other nice display systems from Dell itself that presents good value for money. However, those who do need a touch-sensitive panel, the S2240T is desirable for one more reason, and that is the build quality. If I did not mention the quality, it would have been an injustice. I mean, let's face it, for a 21.5-inch monitor, we are paying top dollars. And in return, Dell is trying to make a fair exchange by giving quality finish. From the moment we took it out of the box, we saw the wow factor it presented. The lines were perfect, the edges nicely rounded, the glass, the metal stand, the buttons, the reverse side, all has been finished nicely. I'm not saying it's all gold-plated, but there are times when Dell takes a step or two to make things nice, and this is one of those examples. So it's a decent display for gaming and general use, and in a corporate or commercial environment, the S2240T will do well with interactive presentations and in making good impression with its overall build quality. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. What you like or disliked about this video, please be sure to let us know in the comment section below. And please do also remember to subscribe in order to stay updated with our latest upcoming videos. Hope to see you next time. Bye for now.